What if you took the high-stakes game show from the Squid Games TV series and brought it into the real world? You get this piece of crap. Squid Game The Challenge, or as I like to call it, the crying game. The entire premise of the Squid Game TV show was that if you failed any challenge, you would end up dead. Except you can't actually do that, so what ends up happening is that the show becomes exactly what the original tries to parody. But that's not all. It almost feels like everyone on this show is paid extra if they cry for no reason at all. It's not like when they lose they die, or their friends die. They just go home to watch the rest of the show on their couch. Some of these people don't even really need the money at all, but still, every single time, it's waterworks. Alright, before I get too ahead of myself, let's start from the beginning. The show starts the same way you would expect. Shots at the Squid Game location, and this lady talking about how everybody's in debt, and how she's missing out working to be there. But it's a dream. The first game is exactly what everyone expects. It's red light, green light. Right away, we're introduced to some really special people. The guy who overcompensates his toughness, but definitely has some kind of childhood trauma.
And the only person I could trust was my mom. And at times, I couldn't even trust my mom.
I love myself so much.
And then we got the mama's boy, who brought his trauma with him. Yeah, this guy brought his elderly mom to the show. Also, these people don't need the money at all. This guy's mom was a New York Times editor.
I worked in a lot of departments. I was hired to work in sports.
So she's not scrounging around the couch for quarters. So the game goes ahead, and a lot of people have very interesting strategies. Or in this case, what the hell is that?
Hi, I'm Sifu Romain, teaching you the horse dance. In Chinese, we call this Ma Bu. Ma meaning horse, Bu meaning stance.
And when the paint pellet pops, they slowly lie down and pretend to die, while dramatic music plays in the background. So this boring game ends, and we get introduced to the next boring part of the show, the social game.
You can give one player an advantage in the next game, or you can choose one player to eliminate.
Where apparently now this is Survivor, and you have to vote people off the island. Alright, whatever. They call them tests, but nobody's really being tested for anything. They're just there to try to cause drama. We also get introduced to a 5-year-old girl named Lorenzo, and she's a big eater.
Like, that for me is a starter, it's not a meal, and I think I 100% need food, otherwise I just can't really think. So for me, it's a priority.
Don't throw anything away, please.
You want it?
Yeah.
Anything ragged or rotten or rusty. Yes, I love trash.
Another main character is the doctor. That guy definitely doesn't need any of this money. He should be at home telling stories to his grandkids. What's he doing here? He's probably lost. So in the first test, the guy who made the most friends got eliminated.
To get to know as many players as I can.
That's what you get for trying to talk to people. The next game is Dalgona. That's getting the shape out of the cookie game. The twist? The first person from every team needs to figure out which cookie everyone gets. And no one wants the umbrella. So this guy's Spencer, Mr. Wet the Bed.
Wet the bed a lot. I used to cry when I was taken away from my mom.
Just starts crying for no reason.
Hey, please stop crying, bro. Jesus Christ.
Not only that, but he got his team the umbrella. Who would have predicted this? He then falls on the ground, has like convulsions. He gives me serial killer vibes. Something like Hannibal Lecter. Somebody's gotta watch this guy after the show ends. At this point, most people know the drill. Everybody's spitting into their cookies. Ugh, that's just nasty. The next test is another simple elimination. It's almost like they wanted to get rid of people, but they just couldn't figure out a creative way to do it. If you pick up this phone, you're out. Riveting TV. At least we might get a physical competition next. Nope. If you thought that this show was gonna be any fun at all, you're completely wrong. We're playing Warships. This B person has a very high IQ and is so much smarter than everyone. She just doesn't use it. But she's very smart, you gotta believe her.
I was in Mensa at the age of 13 with an IQ in the top 0.5% of the UK. I didn't apply my intelligence very well for a very long time.
If you want a true leader, then there's this guy TJ. He's the most leader of them all.
A true leader inspires others and makes sure they feel as great as the leader does about the group.
The leaderest of leaders.
And he put him in charge. I bloody knew it. He put himself in charge, didn't he? Yeah. I ain't never said anything. Every time.
Also the humblest of humblers.
I'm big and strong and I know I can handle myself. Bravery is something that's a true part of who I am. Beyond that, I always say, have you seen a giraffe fall? People are like, what? No. And we're like, that's me. Like, I don't fall. It takes me too long to fall.
Why is everybody so weird on the show? It's like they're just here to trauma dump.
Thank you. That means so much, Joe.
I love you, man.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you.
So a bunch of people get eliminated, blah blah blah, the usual. Cry, cry, cry. And guess what? The next test is so exciting. It's just a vote to eliminate. Funniest thing about this vote is that this Asian guy got eliminated just for being annoying.
Are we coming from a place of fear? Or are we coming from a place of love?
Oh yeah, and the 5-year-old girl got eliminated by the mom. At this point, I think the game designers just gave up. The doc and his young apprentice play a game of dakji, where the reward and the punishment is a chocolate bar. That's right, a chocolate bar. The creativity here is just immeasurable. So even though that game didn't involve everyone, it's still considered a game, so the next thing to do is another test. And once again, at random, people get eliminated. And once again, waterworks. It's like someone died. Who died? These people get to go home. Oh my god. So what's the next really amazing and stunning and brave thing that they did? They just made them squeeze orange juice for no reason. It literally goes nowhere. They just did that challenge for nothing. Instead, they're told to pair off to play the marbles game. This game has my favorite interaction. So this deaf girl has been signing to everyone the entire length of the game, preaching about my representation.
Representation.
And yet, she never once spoke to the only deaf guy in the game.
I'm deaf. Why have you not taught me any sign language? I've talked to you. You've not mentioned this. You've not indicated at any point. You tricked me. I don't feel too bad for you because you're going home in a moment.
So she's just been signing to people that aren't deaf and who don't understand what she's doing, but completely ignored the only deaf guy in the game. Priceless. Anyway, we finally get to see the mama's boy kill his mom. Everybody's crying, no one's dying, and by the way, she still doesn't need the money. And these guys just didn't play at all, so they both got eliminated. The next test is just as stupid as the previous ones. Everyone pulls in their best friend into the next round. The women did try to team up for representation.
Men doing men things.
Men doing men things.
Yes, queen. You go, girl. So stunning and brave. But they should have listened to Chris Brown a bit more, cause these hoes ain't loyal.
I know she's gonna follow through on what she says, and I know she's gonna pick one of the girls.
Player 286. 451. 016.
Player 221.
Like, hey, what about sticking together?
But they pretty much succeeded, cause the only ones eliminated were the men. And I mean, ultimately, the guys should have figured it out. They were literally watching all the women gather together and plot.
Ashley, come to the female group. Woman power!
Rose.
Okay. Jackie, come.
So I don't really feel that bad for them. The sixth game was the glass bridge. Everyone decided to do it communist style, except for one person.
It's one each, guys. It should be one each.
I'm confused as hell because I don't remember agreeing to this.
And the mama's boy died. Womp womp. But they pretty much succeeded. Test 6. They rolled dice to eliminate the person of their choosing, but everyone except 2 people chose themselves and decided to play it that way. The winner of the show, Mai, who is a sneaky snake by the way, chooses Ashley instead of herself because Ashley didn't want to be a team player on the bridge, and neither get eliminated in this round. Game 7 is the circle of trust, and pretty much you have to figure out who threw you under the bus. Like I mentioned, Mai is a sneaky snake, so she throws her friend under the bus.
You my dog.
I know. You're my buddy, but...
The next test is the peak of the game designer's creativity. They just press a button. At random. Amazing. I think I've seen rats do more exciting things with buttons. But not to be outdone by their own final test, the game designers saved the best for last. Rock, paper, scissors. That's right. It is more thrilling than you could ever imagine. So thrilling that they fast forward through the majority of this. Even the editor couldn't sit through all that. So the show ends without a single athletic challenge. The most exciting games were the ones from the original show. Anything new that was added was just garbage. We were expecting this. And we got this. But before we wrap it up, let's just take a moment and appreciate all the times that people cried for no reason. Wow, yeah, that's normal. So stunning and brave. And that's all for the crying games. Let's hope we don't get another one.